it really can take one person to create a cultural shift in your partnership. Sometimes it really takes both.
The magnetism happens like between the best and the worst. Like we call, like we're attracted to people that usually have the thing that triggers our specific core wounding, and also the things that also light us up.
So when we have this friction between two people, there can be an explosion of sorts, and it can re-traumatize and it can trigger. Or you can take these instances, you can take these triggers as if it's water and create alchemy, turn it into wine, turn it into a piece of art that creates that bridge of healing. The idea, imago, means like image match. So there's a theory that we often match with partners who have the best and worst qualities of our parents combined. You know, and there's just the beauty of that, of like, this is familiar, this is love, I remember this flavor, yes, I love this home. And then there is sometimes the terror or trauma, or the ways that your nervous systems create friction in those qualities that your parents had or have that you don't really like. It triggers abandonment wounds or anxious attachment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anxious avoidance. It is so interesting that we like the magnetism happens like between the best and the worst. Like we call, like we're attracted to people that usually have the thing that triggers our specific core wounding, and also the things that also light us up in the same way. It is that dualism of the magnetism.
Yeah, and with this idea that we can use our expression, our range of expressions in relationship as a offering, as a gift, we can actually begin to bridge from the bad qualities from our parents that trigger us into that thing that we call transmutation. When we're wanting to come together with a partner and we say, let's heal our lineage lines together. And then all of a sudden you're like, you're creating more karma. It may feel like you're creating, and it's like hard to know how to move out of that and actually create alchemy. So this idea of being creative in love, to be artistic in love, is to transmutate these otherwise friction points, because fire needs friction.
Yeah.
It's the only element that actually needs something in order to be created. Water is water, air is air, earth is earth. Fire must be created. So when we have this friction between two people, there can be an explosion of sorts, and it can re-traumatize and it can trigger. Or you can take these instances, you can take these triggers as if it's water and create alchemy, turn it into wine, turn it into a piece of art that creates that bridge of healing. And this is a practice. And I mean that in like the strongest verb sense.
Yeah.
You have to keep arriving to the mat over and over. And even when you do something one time, let's say you and your partner are in a heated moment, and you take a risk and you do something kind of funny, kind of playful. Maybe you smack them in the face with a tortilla and it lands poorly.
I'm gonna try that next time.
There's actually a whole thing on TikTok about slapping each other with tortillas with water.
With a mouth of water.
I think that's so clever. So let's say you smack them and it lands poorly. They don't laugh. They're very activated still.
Yeah.
How do you stay in that pose of play, even when they're so, and I don't mean ignore their reaction. I just mean hold the pose of like, I'm making it my mission to bring love, perhaps a little levity and grace to this situation, and allow your partner to go through whatever they need to go through. But you take it as, this is my practice. I'm holding the pose. I'm here to transmutate, because sometimes it really can take one person to create a cultural shift in your partnership. Sometimes it really takes both.
Yeah.
But it takes the person listening to this episode right now to start taking that as one of their, if should they want.
It's so powerful, like holding your pose, because I see, and I've experienced this, where you become enmeshed to the point of where, okay, say you tried something like that, your partner was not having it. And then, okay, now you cater and try to fix the situation where you can actually make it worse in a way. Cause then it adds to, it's like when someone's having a really hard time, the last thing you want to do is go over there and be like, are you okay? Like, is it all right? Like, and meet them with that same energy. Really what they want is that calm, like centered, I'm still in my energy, but I'm also here with you while you experience whatever you need to. Like, that is such a hard thing. It is so hard.
Yeah, it's an art form for sure. It's an art form. And yeah, and there are ways that women perhaps gift, and this is going to sound heteronormative, but my specialty is with women and men.
Yeah.
So there are ways that women can gift men with their particular flavor of play, beauty, radiance, full abundance, like milk pouring out of the breasts energy, like just loving him in these certain ways that men are gonna be like, yes, give it to me. And then there are ways that men can hold the pose for women that we don't want the same. We don't want the same, like, don't lavish me with beauty, maybe kind of pull my hair a little bit to help me distress. Like, and that's an art form too, of like how to, perhaps there is a stressful moment, and I'll speak for myself. There's kind of a pressure I like to be met with when I feel I am having a hard time. Like, sometimes I like to have temper tantrums. Like, that's one of my art forms of expressing myself. I just need a container. I need 5 minutes to fully have this like sacred tantrum. I'm going to say all the things I need to say. Every fucking thing, I'm going to say it in this. And I get really expressive and really big. And that's kind of a feminine form, because the feminine is energy.
Oh, absolutely.
And then the masculine is
the container.
It's the container, the depth, the consciousness. And so one of the gifts men can often bring to women is the deep breath, is the firmness. And you can also switch as much as you want. There's no way that women are supposed to be or men are supposed to be. There's just these little tiny nuances to what can be really rich gifts for each other to give to each other.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense. And, when you're saying that, I'm getting this like visualization of like, okay, the man is like the riverbed that allows like the woman who is the water, the energy, the movement to like press up against the sides and like find its way of flow, right?